Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another semi-late night edition of the Missing Wolves post-game podcast live stream thing. I'm your host, Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage, and today we have a good friend on, Marielle Mohs, who I still have to remind myself your name is not Ellie every time I read it. So thank you for clearing that up like 6 months after I met you.
If you called me Ellie, I'd still respond for what it's worth.
You'll respond, but you'll be like pretty irritated, I would imagine. That's like when people call me Andy. It's just like, I'm in my 30s now. Please stop.
Yeah.
But we have basketball to talk about. And
yes.
I mean, first, I do want to omit to anyone in here. It's been a rough 48 hours for Minnesota basketball. Watching the Gophers in person last night, kind of give away a 9-point lead with 35 seconds. Elle and I both got to experience that, and now we both got to experience a last second loss by the Wolves. So Elle, how are you doing morale wise?
I'm feeling deflated because both teams, both events, there were so many moments of hope and moments of this is our game to win if we lock in, and we just can't at the last minute. And to lose by, the Gophers by 1 point tonight, was it just 2 points? I don't even remember the final score. Was it either 2 or 3 points?
Yep.
3. To lose by 1 bucket is just killer.
Yeah, it's kind of turning into the way of Minnesota is to kind of just let these close ones go. But, the Gophers, theoretically, they can go beat up on Alabama A&M on Thursday. The Wolves don't get that luxury. Their next game is against a Golden State team that is like a very competent basketball team right now.
Right.
Grinch with the shifts is checking in here, which I appreciate you switching your name from Rob to Grinch. Also, like sitting courtside, I don't know if TV caught it, but there was a dude like full Grinch outfit with
TV
like the Grinch nose. It was impressive.
It was actually the star of the FanDuel broadcast tonight.
They kept checking in with him.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad he got his shine. But I mean, the Wolves tonight, it just kind of seemed like it's the, pattern is starting to emerge that against these teams that aren't above 500. I mean, Phoenix is an above 500 team, but no Devin Booker tonight, no Jalen Green tonight. It just kind of seemed like the Wolves didn't have a ton of urgency in the first half. And then when they do finally kind of click it into gear, it's fighting an uphill battle, which, I mean, Elle, kind of what is your take on maybe why that keeps happening?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of how when we talk even in the Lynx season, how we're like, oh, they're a fourth quarter team. And it's just like, why are we waiting till the last minute to gel and find our mojo? And then it becomes so much harder to play catch up and to hold that lead or even get that lead. So it's frustrating to watch. I mean, individually, I saw a lot of good moments tonight. I was really frustrated that DiVincenzo just wasn't on with his threes tonight, and he kept taking them.
Yeah.
And they felt so hasty, like, if that's a word, like he would, like, they just felt rushed. That's the right word. And I mean, thank God Ant had another 40-point night. I think it was his 5th of the season, which gave us hope there. But and then Rudy was having a great night until he got ejected. And so it's like to lose him in the posts just like really stunk.
Yeah. And Rudy is like, he is a floor setter for this team, right? Like Rudy is one of the guys that you don't have to worry about every game. He's going to come in, get energy. I mean, I joke about it a lot that Rudy gets hit in the face like 75 times a game, but like tonight it did seem like that last hit to the face was just enough is enough. I'm sick of getting hit in the face. I don't know how it came through on the TV because they didn't show like any replays in the arena.
Really?
Yeah. Was it pretty tough?
Yeah, so I can see where from like just a flash second perspective of being in arena that you'd be like, what? Like, come on, that was a soft hit. But when you see the slow-mo, it looks very intentional that he was just frustrated and needed like a little revenge hit just to get it out of his system, to be like, you hit me, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. It definitely looked unnecessary when you saw it in slow-mo. And yeah, it was a bummer.
Yeah. Grinch with the Shifts is saying, Grinch with the Shifts, were you the actual Grinch in arena?
Yeah, I was gonna
If you
ask
were,
earlier.
that is iconic. Like, you need to make that a thing and come as the in arena Grinch every game. And he also adds the mid-game Nah spark. Seems to be missed. You mentioned Dante, and sometimes he's that spark, sometimes Nas is the spark, sometimes Jaden's the spark. Those three tonight go, real quick math, 4 for 26. I mean, when 3 of your top 6 guys are basically unplayable. Grinch with the Shifts, we have a celebrity in this
I'm
live stream,
honored,
as he is the Grinch from the in arena tonight. Appreciate you. That was all vibes.
Yeah,
I don't know how you were drinking through the Grinch nose mask, but like, truly tip of the cap to you, sir. But I mean, when you have 3 out of your top 6 guys basically being unplayable on offense, it kind of makes sense that you're losing to a Phoenix team, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I just felt like they just couldn't figure Phoenix out. Like, they couldn't figure out their rhythm and catch up to them. And also at the same time, like, there was some missed calls that the refs, like Grayson Allen's just egregious travel at the end of the second half.
That was tough.
I was like, come on.
The travel, like, and then step into a second travel was
yes. That was just killing me. And so yeah, that was frustrating too, and added to it. If I had a highlight of tonight though, before ejection, Rudy's backhand tip in was really cool to see.
Yeah. Rudy had some good moments. He did have his like typical, duff it out of bounds, but like I think he got like 4 alley-oops before he got ejected. I mean, he was having a really good game, which these are the games that Rudy seems to have a really good game at, because like he's the only guy really, it seems like, going to it. I mean, Godfrey adds no Devin Booker, no Jalen Green, bad loss. I do agree. Like, this is in competition for, like, even with the 2 like absolute vomit all over themselves job, like, this is in competition for like the worst loss of the season. This one was a tough one. Cole adds in here, Conley needs to reconstruct the roster. The league is trending towards playing fast, hard with youth. We have none of that. Slow starts is definitely coaching. Wolves can't handle the pressure defense. Ugh. Valid. I really hesitate to say that like the slow starts and this attitude is a Finch issue, because like, as you mentioned, Elle, we saw it with the Lynx, and like Cheryl Reeve is the most intense coach I've ever met in my life, and like the Lynx would do this stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a just player personality thing, which like, I don't know if you agree with that, but like, I don't know how much of this weird on and off like energy is the coach's issue more than the players.
Yeah I agree with that. Yeah, I think like they all need to buy in from the tip off, and it just seems like they're not until they feed off the energy of someone else who has bought in, and it can't be that way. I also felt like Julius Randle brought a lot of energy in the first half and kind of disappeared in the second.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I felt like he was playing with a lot of force, and then it was literally like coming out of halftime. I don't know if like the officiating was getting to him. I don't know if he was just super frustrated. He unfortunately spoke at the same time as Ant did after the game. So I went to Ant, some other guys went to Julius. So I haven't heard what he had to say on everything yet, but I mean, it really did seem like something happened. Like, and Julius is a guy that I think when he gets frustrated enough, that's when you see the like body language stuff and all the people that like post on Twitter, like all of the issues with him. I don't know what happened. And maybe it's as simple as like Rudy wasn't there to push people out of the way, but yeah,
and I think too, what's been frustrating, at least for me watching the last couple games, is we're barely beating the worst teams in the league right now. Like, that is not okay. So if you like the fact that we like barely got out of that Pelicans series.
Yeah, that was tough.
It just, I'm like, okay, so I'm not surprised we lost tonight. If like you're gonna let a team that you should handedly beat get that close.
Yeah, first off, Grinch, I appreciate you enjoying the content, and the energy has been weird in the Target Center. Like it's just been a weird year for the Wolves. Like I think, the things that make the crowd pop the most are like Ant hot starts. I honestly think Nikhil was so beloved that like when he checked in, it has been just a weird energy issue, I guess. He adds the Suns' big offensive core, interior defense is lacking. I completely agree. Like if Rudy's in the game the whole time, they might have pulled off a W, which like again, I'm not going to be super hard on a guy that gets hit in the face 38 times a game for finally being like, all right, stop hitting me in the face. Like, I think everybody has their breaking point, but I do think Rudy probably leads to a win. Cole adds Ant needs help. Kyrie time. Hard to make the Kyrie trade work without having Julius in it, but Julius is from Dallas, so I'm sure he'd like to go home and play. Tony P brings a question up that I again, what conversations do you think players have about these slow starts? If it's obvious to fans, wouldn't it be a hot topic internally? I mean, I will just say the team is, at times it's almost frustrating covering them because they are acutely aware that this is the problem and they are 100% honest about it. Like I asked Bones about it after the game, and Bones is like, yeah, we just don't come in ready to play basketball. Like we don't come in focused. We don't come in, ready to play against some of these lesser teams. We asked Ant about it after the game. Ant's like, we are looking ahead to playoffs and like we can't be doing that. So it's like all these guys know what the problem is. It's just how do you get that to shift, which I don't have an answer. Like this has been a consistent issue with this team for like, it seems like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, interesting. That's what the players are being so forefront about it.
Like they're, again, like as Tony says, like, if it's obvious to the fans, like the players know, like all of them talk about it. And a lot of them do say like it's a player preparation problem. Like they don't blame the coaching staff. They don't blame like individuals. They literally say like we come in and we're just not in the mindset to play against some of these teams. And as soon as you see Booker and Green not in, as soon as you see Zion not in for the Pelicans, you almost like brace yourself as a fan or someone covering the team of like, oh, this might be one of those games again. Which, again, I don't know how to fix it. Like,
it's a notorious Minnesota sports problem. I feel like not just the Wolves, but all Minnesota teams play down to the team that they're playing. It happens so often, especially with the Vikings. It's so frustrating. It's like when it should be an easy win, why not make it a blowout? But they just can't do
it. And again, like it's really hard for me to blame coaching because it's like the Lynx had the same problem. Like they had the runner-up in MVP, the best defense, like a historically good team. Cheryl is a like Mount Rushmore coach, not just in the W, but like in basketball. And they weren't showing up for games. Like it's, I think it is just a player-driven thing where at some point they need to, come over that hump and just start being ready to play. But Elle, I'm going to throw us over to a break here quick, and then we'll talk a little bit of Anthony Edwards. I do want to talk a little Bones Hyland too, because that was probably the other fun part in this. But first, ads. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Man, .com has been on a run. It's actually finishing the ad. Missed it last night or 2 nights ago, whenever the last Wolves game is, but it's on a streak now. Cole asks a good question. Is there any correlation to Ant's 30-plus point games and winning this season or losing? Ant in wins, averaging 26.6 points per game, and in losses, 32.4. So it does seem to be like when Ant is scoring a lot, they lose. Sometimes that's because he's just trying to take it upon himself and getting points. But like it is one of those things where like Ant scoring a ton doesn't always lead to winning as much. But I mean, he had a awesome game tonight. What was kind of the vibe seeing him through the TV at home tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was one of those. I really noticed him obviously after Rudy left, because I was paying like Rudy like took a lot of my attention in that first half, and I was just like it felt very much like Ant the savior, like come on in and fill in the gaps. I actually was confused because I missed tip off just briefly coming home late from work, and at first I was kind of surprised that Ant missed a lot of minutes in the first half. Maybe that was just like me coming in late and like missing something. But did you what was the beginning of like his time on the court? Because I heard he was like sick, maybe.
Yeah, he missed practice today. Him and TJ both missed it with an illness, which like it's that time of year, and a lot of these players have young kids, and young kids like pick their nose and and like lick doors, and like, you know, they're gross. As someone who doesn't have a young kid, they're gross. Like he obviously was good to go by game time. I'm sure they, you know, athletes have different recovery than us normal people. Like they probably gave him an IV and told him to take a 9-hour nap and he's good to go. But yeah, the first quarter he played his normal like 12-minute stretch. Played pretty well. It was mostly scoring though. Then he usually sits like 6 minutes in the second quarter, 6 minutes in the fourth quarter. So like second quarter, there wasn't a ton of like Ant going on, but like first quarter, he was pretty okay. A lot of scoring, like most of his rebounding and I mean, he only had 2 assists, but like most of his rebounding and everything came a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, anytime Ant just like takes control and like finds an open lane, splits the defense, and drives to the basket, it's so refreshing to see. And I'm like, why can't we do this every time with every player, not just Ant?
Yeah, I mean, Ant tonight, to that point, I mean, again, quick math, 12 of 14 in the lane.
Wow.
I mean, or in the mid-range or at the rim. Like he has been an elite finisher this year, which last year that kind of trailed off, and this year he's right back to where he was his first couple of years. And honestly, like Julius too, like two-person combination of just being able to like get downhill has
Mhm.
been so refreshing, because there are so many like threes in the NBA now. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's, you know, Ant, it's always so tough to evaluate him, because you look at a game like tonight and it's like 40 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists on 21 shots. He only had 1 turnover despite being the primary ball handler for
Mhm.
38 minutes. And like it, you know, leaving the game, it's kind of like, why didn't he get the last shot? Or why didn't
Yeah.
he, like, why was it Jaden in the corner? Why did
Yeah.
Julius take a couple weird shots? And it always kind of leads me back to like, you know, wanting more from Ants, but like this is the type of performance that is like an
Right.
MVP caliber performance.
Right.
And you know, I will say I thought it was interesting that Phoenix almost dared Ant to beat them. I
Mhm.
think the last few games, it's been a lot of like double teams on Ant the second he crosses half court. And tonight they just seem to put Brooks on him, or put
Mhm.
Royce O'Neal on him, and just kind of see what would happen, which I guess this is what happens.
Yeah. I think I got, and this happens a lot, where and actually it happened in the Gopher game yesterday, where you have less than a minute on the clock, which is actually so much time in basketball, and you need like 3 points or 4 points, and you have to be really intentional with how you use that time to make it work, but you can
Yeah.
definitely make it work. And I think I get frustrated sometimes when I see like when they get sticky with the ball, when they have these really crucial precious seconds left on the clock, but a lot of time that you can do something with. And when they try to force the three, when it's like you have 57 seconds left on the clock of this game, you don't need a three yet.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it simple, do what you know. But they were trying to get so fancy and wasted 30 seconds and didn't get any points from it. And so that's where I'm like, okay. And that's when my balloon gets popped.
It's like, one, you're completely right. Like you look at, let's see here, Ant gets the rebound with 27 seconds. Wolves are down 2. They don't score until the 8-second mark. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, they did get the layup, right? But a little more urgency would
Yeah.
be nice. Which again, it's like we're, you know, poking at a guy that just scored 40, but like
Right.
he had
Right.
the
Like,
ball in
as
his
soon as I
hand
said that, I'm
most of
like,
that
wait,
possession. So
who am
it's
I?
those are the things that it's so hard with this team, because like if they played with the like effort and urgency they play with in the mid third quarter, fourth quarter,
Mm-hmm.
they probably don't even need a clutch time. But
Mm-hmm.
because they have a clutch time, then we're sitting here critiquing Ant for taking too long on a layup, which like I'm there with you. Like as that's happening, like real time, I'm sitting there going like what, we gotta go, guys. Like
Yeah.
this is the time we
Right.
really gotta figure this out. Couple things in chat here. Godfrey says Suns get 33 from their point guard position, Wolves get 16. I mean, yes, technically, like Finch is now kind of openly calling Ant their point guard. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything runs through him. I I would kind of say for the rest of the season, like unless they make a trade, like it's fair to just say Ant's the point guard, Dante's the shooting guard, Jaden's at the small, Julius the power, and then
Mm-hmm.
Rudy at center. Because I think they are. I think the thought process this year is like, okay, Rob isn't progressing like we thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just give Ant the James Harden Houston Rockets method and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Tony P mentions Ant is taking a lesson from Luca, perfecting the drawing the jump shot foul. Yes, that is super annoying when Luca or Trey or anyone else does it, but like it's the modern NBA now. Like that
Mm-hmm.
is, as much as people like to harp on Shea for like getting to the free throw line as much as he does, that is a skill in the NBA. It's
Agreed.
just as much a skill as dribbling.
Right.
Cole Randall just isn't clutch except that one time against the Suns. Yeah, Randall I think is I don't know if he just kind of if it's by design that he kind of floats into the background and they let Ant kind of run the show. But like realistically, like Randall was having a really good game. Like
And
I know
overall, a great season so far.
yeah, we're all Jaden McDaniels fans. I'm glad Jaden got
Yes.
a 3 off, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, down 3. Like I almost would rather see Julius just try and do something, or Ant. But again, nitpicking.
Yeah.
Grinch adds, who realistically could the Wolves bring in to help the offensive gap? Personally agree with one of my earlier posts targeting a big. I actually wanted Mark Williams in the offseason. I'm going to throw this one to you, Al. Like, do you feel like they should make that like big splashy trade, like around the margins trade? Like, what's your kind of thought process on the roster of this team?
Yeah. I mean, I think my fear with that is it took us I think it took us a season, a half a season, and then some to adjust to the big splashy trade of Cat for Julius and DiVincenzo. Like it took so long for the team to find their groove and their gel with them. And I feel like we're just seeing it now play out with how like them having chemistry. And it just scares me when chemistry is sensitive with this roster. Like they really fuel off chemistry. And so I don't know, maybe that's such a like a scaredy cat answer, but I just fear that if you mess with what exists, it would really throw things off.
Yeah, I mean, as people who have listened to me talk over the last couple of years or like read my writing, I'm traditionally like a pretty slow to move on things, and like this is a Wolves team that's 6 games above 500, 2.5 games behind the 2 seed right now. Like I wouldn't make anything crazy yet. I mean, that being said, Julius can't get traded for another week. Nas can't get traded until January 15th. So it's not like arguably, you know, like Rudy, I think most teams in the league kind of understand that like if they were to trade for Rudy, it takes a while for that to click in. And it like, you know, like the Anthony Davis trade or the Kyrie trades that have been kind of thrown out over the last couple days on social medias of just like, if they're getting Rudy Gobert back in that, like that's gonna hurt Cooper Flag for like the rest of this season because it just takes time. Like my ideal is, you know, if you're not set on Rob, trade Rob and like maybe Lenny for like a backup big to make the money work and bring in like Marvin Williams on the Suns if the Suns start to falter and want to get off him. Jock Landale from Memphis is having a really good season and is a 30-year-old Australian. Like that would be theoretically a pretty good vibe fit here. But I would just hesitate to make like the big move in season, which again, kind of to your point too, like that part of that is just like risk aversion. Like Kyrie hasn't played basketball in almost a year and is coming off a major injury in his 30s. That's traditionally not great for a ball handling speedy point guard. Anthony Davis is injured every year. Zion's injured every year. Ja has dealt with injury stuff. Like every player you could trade for, you kind of got to look internally and like, I don't know. I'd rather just have Julius.
Same.
Julius also like fits the vibe of this team really well. Like
I know this doesn't earn you points, but like even just like his son getting a huge like role in like meme culture and like hyping DiVincenzo from the sidelines. I don't know. As far as culture goes, like I think the Randalls are a really good fit for us. And I think his wife too, like, is really embracing the fan base and Minnesota. And I love that.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. She says too many one-way players on this roster. Tim Connolly deserves to be on the hot seat. I mean, it's hard to say Tim Connolly because every GM usually gets a coach firing before they go on the hot seat. So like we're like 5 years away from like Tim being blamed for any of this, but like the Dillingham miss is tough, and this roster does have like legitimate problems. Like it really does. Godfrey adds fire, Tim Conley again, like it will take time if you're in the fire Tim Connolly. It's the same with like the Kwesi Vikings fans that are like fire Kwesi. Like KOC will get fired before Kwesi. Like that's just unfortunately how these things go. Cole adds too, you know, Cole says, you know, you have to remember that the West is getting better and every superstar has a better roster around them except Ant. I mean, objectively, like, yes. Wouldn't you say so? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like the Nuggets have a really good roster around Jokic. 100%. Luka has LeBron and Austin Reeves, for goodness sake. Yeah. Like, you're 100% true. I just think the move probably comes in the off season where you can talk to a Dallas and say, like, listen, you're going to have 3 months to get this team used to Rudy Gobert. Like, that's awesome. That's so much time. You guys could do that. You're smarter than us, right? And then hope someone bites on it, which I hate to throw Rudy under the bus, but like if you want to make this roster like significantly better, you kind of got to keep Randall, I would think.
Yeah, agreed.
Just catching up here still to take she, Mr. She. We need to stop being Minnesota nice. Oklahoma City surrounded Shea with obvious fits. How is Ant supposed to beat OKC playing 1 versus 3 every drive? Cole, this is bad roster construction around Ant. He needs more D3 players around him. The eye test doesn't lie. Godfrey, Houston went 22-60 the year Conley traded for Gobert. Grinch, I want Giannis so bad, but we'd have to gut our roster. I just don't know if it'd be worth it. I mean, out of all of those, I would say, and I'm not trying to dismiss everyone, but like I do think Cole's point is good of like if they're gonna go full Harden, which like if that's the path for Ant, they want him to be a Shea, Lucas, Harden level player. Like getting those D and 3 players is probably the way to do it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they need to really focus on just building the roster around Ant, like so many of these Western teams are doing that are dominating.
And like I use the Harden comparison because like when Houston traded for James Harden, that they sent out Steven Adams, or the pick that would be Steven Adams. They sent out pieces back, but like Harden didn't really start to be a point guard until like the first couple seasons into the Houston experiment. And then it's like they had Eric Gordon, really good D3, like smaller point guard shooting guard. They had Trevor Ariza, really good D3 player. They had Dwight Howard at first, and then Clint Capella, like a really good offense and then defensive stalwart. Like I think that's probably the path, but that's so much easier said than done.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Bones?
Yeah, let's talk about Bones. So I always pride this on being a chat show, but we do have to talk about Bones because man, wasn't on my bingo card that Bones Hyland would get minutes tonight, but he was like good. He was legitimately good.
Yeah, I heard one of the FanDuel announcers say that in like the last 3 games, Bones had 90 seconds of playtime, and then tonight 14 points was that his total? And just like really filled in the gap when the gap was needed to be filled. It's funny because so we talked about this yesterday. I had my favorites, the Boy Links podcast hosts on my podcast, and we were talking about the bench players that we are rooting for, and the 3 of us all gave Bones Hyland a shout out. And my boyfriend Peter was like, why would you talk about Bones? Like there's so many other like bench players that make a bigger splash. And I was like, I don't know, there's something about him that I like really think he's a great addition to the squad. And tonight I just looked over at Peter and I go, Bones, baby, here we go.
And we asked Ant about Bones after the game, and his direct quote we asked him, like, what do you like about Bones? And he says, everything. Yeah, like how sometimes you can just see that people are meant to be a star. I feel like I may not know the criteria to being a star, but if I think I do, I think he's one of them. Like, that's Bones.
Cute.
Like, that is just Bones. Like, that's
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him. Don't know, like, what like,
Yeah,
if you
I
just
can't
look at his
describe it.
stats, like, generally they're not very good season to season, but like, there's just something about him that, like,
Yeah. Agreed.
I also did, Sneaker Reporter put it up, but I did ask him about his, like, weird magic fingers things that he does to the crowds after he scores a basket, and
Yes,
like,
what is that about?
he's just like, I want to interact with the fans. So now
I need a
he's just
better
like
story
weird
than that.
magic. That there is no better story. Like, I was like, have you done it your whole career? He's like, nope, just this year. And Dane was like, so what does it mean? And he's like, I don't know, I just do it with the fans. It's like, okay, but that's Bones. Like, that is
Yep.
just Bones.
I love it.
Yeah, it's bittersweet because, like, if Bones is playing, it means Rob probably isn't. But like,
Right.
there's a world where he just gets it now and is going to be a valuable piece to the team, which again, it wasn't going to be on my bingo card at the beginning of the season, but hey, more Bones is good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and there's just something about him that's really likable. Like, I know that's not what the game is about, and that's not necessarily what gives you stats, but there's something about him that's just super likable, and I'm just glad he's part of this roster.
It's so hard to nail down because he is like a very well-spoken, media trained guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I feel like a lot of times he just knows the right answer to say. But like, there is just something about him that's just, you root for him.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, how's Bones on defense? Not ideal, Tony.
No.
Entire career has been not ideal, but like, even going back to like his VCU days, like, he's generally, not so much tonight because I think Finch almost had an ulcer with one of the turnovers, but like, he's generally like a really good assist to turnover guy, and he's like a good shot maker. It's just, I think, I had Adam Mares on the podcast earlier earlier this season, and I was asking him about Bones because Adam covers Denver, and he was just kind of like, Bones has just always kind of thought he's like the guy, and the difference is like, maybe Bones finally realizes like he's a guy and not the guy on this roster, and if that's the case, like, it might be just Bones is going to be good this year.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so. Like, that would solve a lot of problems if our point guard of the future is just Bones Hyland off the bench.
Love it.
Although, if Bones is good, everyone that's saying fire Conley, Conley has been glued to the hip with Bones from the start. We're hitting the 40-minute mark, so I'm gonna give you a chance to plug all of your things and have the platform to say whatever you want. But first, I do have to say a Bones story.
Yes,
that
please.
We asked Bones like what it is with him and Tim Conley, where Tim seems to trust him so much, and Bones, and I kid you not, goes, well, when I had my pre-draft workout with him, he found out that I was a rapper, so I rapped to him in the pre-draft workout, and I guess I rapped pretty well because I've been like with him ever since. So like, that's Bones. It's so weird, but it's just, it checks out.
I love it, man. I feel like everything you said about Bones in the last 2 minutes, I've just been like, love it.
Yeah,
I had nothing better to say.
It's just
maybe
like,
it's 1040. It's 1040. I don't know, but I like this guy.
Yeah, he seems like a really good dude to attach a wagon for. Also, like, maybe the second most famous basketball player out of Delaware, outside of DiVincenzo, who also went to Delaware. And I think Brian O'Neill went to, or was at Delaware, lived in Delaware, did something with Delaware. So we have like all three professional Delawarean athletes. in
The
the
only
Twin
3.
Cities, which is wild. All right, Al, anything you want to plug? I know you have a new podcast that you're super proud of. You just had a feature come out yesterday at WCCO. Plug all of the things because your work has been amazing.
Oh, well, thanks so much. Yeah, new podcasts, about 2 months old now. It's an extension of our Women in Sports series on WCCO. And what makes this so fun is it's a laid back, fun, let loose conversation with athletes, coaches, anyone, any women who are involved in making the game great. We've had some, we recently had a dietitian on who has helped change Olympic athletes into sluggish to high performers, and she kind of shared those secrets. We've had Taylor Heisey from the Frost. We've had the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders. And coming up this week, we have Maya Hooten, who is a Gopher gymnast. She was a standout gymnast for the Gophers the last 5 years. And instead of graduating and leaving the program altogether, she's back to be an assistant coach for the program. So we talked to her this week. That episode is brand new this Wednesday. New episodes every Wednesday. So give it a listen.
It's a blast to listen to. You also Boiling's podcast for anyone who listens to Anna and Angie.
Yeah.
I always remember the way I shouldn't pronounce it, and then I'm like,
right.
That's the way I'm supposed to. Though, anyways, Anna and Angie, who are phenomenal. And Mara Braun and Maya Battle were on there too. So if you are a Hoops fan, there is Hoops content that was very charming as well, because both of them are very interesting stories, local homegrown talents that are awesome.
And more Hoopers to come. We're in talks with a couple that are fan favorites that we're hoping to get on the podcast very soon. So stay tuned.
Does it rhyme with Bud Studs?
No. Well, actually, I'm hoping we can get them on because I can say that the flight is booked. I am headed to Florida next month to cover Unrivaled and the College National Dance Competition, where I'll again cover the Gophers and all the other Minnesota dance teams. But we're going to do a day of Unrivaled, and we're bringing our podcast equipment with us, and we're hoping to get as many players as we can while we're there. So that's going to be like content gold for us. So that's only a month away. So
hey, I mean, it's going to be a blast. It's a great time to be a Hoops fan in the state of Minnesota, even though they lost tonight. And Elle, thank you so much for coming on. I always appreciate it. I know you came on a couple times for the links, so thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And I know I told you this last night, but I want to tell it again to your other fans who I know feel the same way about you.
Oh God.
Thank you for always asking the questions that all the fans want to know. They might not be the most stat heavy questions, but they're the fun ones that we're all curious about. Like, why did Jaden start wearing a t-shirt this year under his jersey? We want to know. So thank you for asking that.
I try to ask one real nerdy basketball question to compensate for whatever I'm going to do to these poor players next. Like, Mike, like what's it like trying to keep your body fresh when you don't know if you're going to be closing a game or starting a game? Mike gives a really good answer. So are you getting like chicken on Monday because they missed 2 free throws, or like, why are you so amped for that? And then
and asking him, like, is he really just a super nice guy and that's why he's never going to get a tech? I think that's
I have a Mike Conley story coming out tomorrow that I'm pretty happy with. So
love it. I can't wait.
We're 44 minutes into a podcast, so if anyone's actually listening this late, spoiler, but I pretty much took all of the quotes that I've gotten from, I mean, like 20 something different players over the last year and a half that have all credited Mike Conley for like not only helping their career, but like them as men, and kind of put them all together in a scrapbook piece. So pretty happy that's coming out tomorrow. Anyways, 44 minutes into a podcast though. Thank you everyone for listening. If
Mhm.
you came into this late and all you heard was me plugging an article and Elle plugging her podcast, you can rewatch this on YouTube or X. It'll live on forever on those two platforms. And then it will be out December 9th at 7 a.m. as a podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. So thank you everyone for listening. And we will be back Friday after the Warriors games with Conrado, who covers the Warriors. We'll get kind of the Warriors perception of what the Wolves are doing. But thanks everyone.